Don't take my word for it. Watch my documentary. Watch the episode of Survivor Man. Look at all the YouTube videos I have where I'm taking people out, interacting with Sasquatch. Absolutely incredible results. I live in Canada, so I'm a Northman, which means there's a lot of snow right now up in Canada because it's winter. And even places like Montana, Wyoming, like the northern United States, we all got snow. It's winter, and I generally don't really do much Sasquatch research in the wintertime. So right now, I'm in the training phase because starting in, what is it, March, I'll be going to Nia Bay. And then after that, I'll be coming back to Canada after the snow melts. And then I'll be kicking ass, going backcountry and doing wilderness expeditions up into my main research site where I've got significant results. I've got really video 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 5 videos of Sasquatch, crystal clear, real Sasquatch videos that I've produced that have precipitated from that region. And then just so many people have eyewitnessed Sasquatch out there, had incredible results. And it's just never going to stop. This discovery is happening. Congratulations, you've tuned into Discovering Bigfoot live show, not the podcast. The podcast is on Saturdays. And we are literally working towards this discovery. We have pictures, we have evidence, we take people out, show them Sasquatch, we have DNA, we have PhDs of all levels, of all kinds that come out with us and do this research, and the discovery is absolutely 100% happening. So I'm literally I've been an athlete my whole life. I've always trained in athletics. I played semi-professional football. I grew up playing rugby and track and field. So I've always been very athletic. And the expeditions grind on me. They're hard. They're tough. I get some tough dudes that come up and just push me hard. Like we'll go up into altitudes, starve a little bit. It's tough. I will literally. It's really my goal to start expeditions. I'm about 6'3". I like to start expeditions weighing around 225, because by the time expeditions are over, I'm usually 215 if I can really hammer the avocados and high fat foods, healthy high fat foods. I can maintain some weight, but it's hard, man. I eat like so much. I just pound the food as much as my intestinal tract can handle with healthy, high calorie, high fat foods. I lose a good, and I'm a lean guy, so I'd love to get more up into the 230s, but I just don't think that'd be like a nice little bit of 5 pounds of fat, and fat is a little bit of fat is healthy. Having ripped abs and being all steroided is whatsoever. So let's get into some questions. I did some talk because I have people complaining about they missed the first few minutes of the show. They don't get to the questions, and just 1 second, kiddo, you got a question? Come down here. Looks like I have a 13-year-old son who's an amazing, wonderful person. For anybody who wants to know about me, I have 2 things that are top in my life. It's being a dad is number 1, and then being a Sasquatch researcher is number 2. So this discovery process is very personal. The expeditioners and I are very personal. We open up and expose ourselves. So I want to do that. I want to be transparent and open and personal. My kiddo has a question.
Answer a few of their questions. There's some really good ones.
Oh, you seeing some good questions
There's
already?
some really good ones.
Oh, he's seeing good questions. Okay, I just better get to it. So, bipedal male excuse me, I have a bit of a cold. So, bipedal male hominid. That is such a. Is that how you identify, my friend? What a cool name for yourself. Does Bigfoot like tacos? It's funny to ask that, but I would never try to give them something like that. Sasquatch, you know, it's a funny question, but the truth is, Sasquatch love raw. They love wild. They love, like, if you ever cooked meat and give it to them, they go, "Puh, what the hell is that?" And I learned that because starting with sushi and salmon. So I started eating a lot of sushi, raw tuna, raw salmon, and man, I can't eat cooked salmon anymore. It's like, what did you do to it? All the flavor, all the texture is gone. and it, and I'm starting to eat raw meats in that same fashion. And it's like, once you have it raw, I know this is going to be kind of shocking to some people, but these wild beings, man, they like stuff raw and real. If you gave them like a donut, they'd probably just be, "Pass!" I don't know. It would be just horrific because that's like, a month's worth of sugar in a mouthful. So it's very unnatural. So I only gift them with apples, and everything else I've gifted them with hasn't really been tremendously successful. So I still maintain that. So let's get to some good questions. Hello, Fuzzy Tiger Cat. Hello, John Rolston. Everybody's saying hi. Sleep Sound. Aloha from Hawaii. Hawaii shows. People from all over the world come into this show. I love that. That's so great. Hello, Andy. Thanks for tuning in today. Nameless Preacher. Todd, do you have both female and male DNA? Oh man, what a good question. Because you know what? I don't know. My test wasn't a full genome, and I don't know if it was male or female. I just assumed, and I would like 95% assume it's male DNA because the boys are crazy. They come around and take my apples and stuff. So, but even off the top of my head, I remember. So in my movie, when the Sasquatch come up around Jeff Meldrum and he sees one, and John Bitterniggle's there too. We have these incredible interactions in my movie, but he has an eyewitness of one. What I found in the trackways, so there were multiple individuals, I think at least four. I have to watch the documentary again just to make sure about that. But it was the males that came forward and the females, or a female, that took the apples and then left with them. I'm assuming she didn't eat them all because we put like 12 apples out there. She could have eaten them all, but I just don't think that would have been her way. She would have taken them back and shared them. But she went very cautiously and she moved in a cautious way where we never would have seen her. The Sasquatch that Jeff Meldrum saw, which is ballsy as hell, walked right out in front of him so he could see him. It was an absolute incredible, like what an incredible gift. You see me talk about energy a lot. And I happen to know I've learned since then. I'm like, why, man? Some people come out there and the Sasquatch lose their mind with them. They interact, they get sightings, all this amazing stuff. What I know now is it's the inner work. Jeff Meldrum is very science. He must be spiritual because he's really high up there with a religious group. So he must be very, very spiritual, but mostly probably very Christian spiritual. So he's from Idaho. But I wonder if he could understand. I never have this discussion with him. The importance of how he attracted that spiritually. How the Sasquatch, man, what happened with him is so rare. And the reason it happened is because the Sasquatch know him. He's been devoted to the topic of Sasquatch for decades. They wanted to see him. They wanted all that to happen. Even I was taking him around, just him and I were out there for a couple of days alone, 3 days. And man, like he couldn't hear them and he wasn't aware of all the Sasquatch activity. But I was going like, oh my God, they are just losing their mind over this guy. Like I thought he was just some professor from a university. That's not the case, man. Jeff Meldrum has loved this Sasquatch uh, discovery process. Is like since he was a little boy, he went and got an autograph in the Patterson film when Roger Patterson was touring it. So he's been obsessed with this discovery, and that's why it happened. And and that's what I love about when I take people out. Being on expedition, ladies and gentlemen, there's no more BS. I'm just gonna say it. Kids, plug your ears. There's no more bullshit. Everything comes out. Who you are, all your weaknesses, all your strengths will show. There's going to be nothing left. You don't come out on expedition with Todd Standing and not get your metal tested. I'm going to see you. I'm going to watch you. You're going to watch me. We're going to build a relationship or not. We're going to clash and then never speak again, or we're going to bond and move forward this discovery process. And either way, it's all good for me. So and that's why I like soldiers that go out in the grind and stuff. They become like a special kind of friendship, and I could literally only compare it to that. You will grind with me, you will bleed, you will come out and you will feel some pain, and you will work this. You'll be out in the middle of nowhere at night, grizzly bears, mountain lions, wolves howling, all this amazing wildlife nature will just be everywhere around you, and we're going to see what you're really made of. And I love that. And that's why I have so many amazing relationships with these incredible men and women that come out on expedition, and I will never stop doing them ever. So there is real potential for significant abundance with this discovery. It doesn't matter. I could make $100 million profiting from all the incredible stuff that comes with this discovery process. If indeed I'm I'm fortunate enough to have it fall upon me. I'm very aware of that. So, and if that happens, I'll just never stop doing expeditions, doing my whole life forever. It doesn't matter how famous or how popular I get. I just love that boots on the ground, guys. I hope you can understand that it's just so amazing to grind with people, to go out there and experience nature together and bond as human beings and teach people to connect. I see so many people come out and it's so beautiful. They want to, dude, there was the greenest dude I ever took out was Ross. You can see videos on him on my YouTube channel. That guy had nothing for wilderness experience. Nothing. It was pathetic. He'd been on hiking trails where it's like a walking through a mall where there's dozens of people. I take him out. He saw one person on all the trails I took him on over 7 days. One person, that dude was clearing the trail. That's it. Every other spot he ever went, he never saw a damn person, never saw anything like it in his life. But this human being just lit up. He was born for it. The Sasquatch wanted him so bad. And when he came out, he had all this incredible stuff happen because they called to him in this brilliant way. And he had this incredible connection that's changed his life forever. And I never experienced that before, to take this wonderful human being and just connect him to something that was always so much a part of his soul and had been denied him. He's literally an orphan from an orphanage, grew up in foster homes, right? From California, like the ultimate metropolis, 30 million people in that little tiny space. He spent his whole life there. He never knew. And he always had this desire and love for nature. And look what happens. I take him out and it's incredible. Look at the results he got. It's absolutely amazing. And that's my life forever. Todd, you take on Mount St. Helens eruptions, Bigfoot get hurt, government help. I was just talking to somebody about that. I don't believe any of that. Just Sasquatch are so aware of their surroundings, guys. Like pigs will notice when there's an earthquake coming, and pigs are domesticated ridiculously, not wild. I believe the Sasquatch knew absolutely that the eruption was coming, would have moved out of the way 100%. So I could be wrong. I could be completely wrong. But this is just me going, like, my teachers are the ultimate amazing. All they do is they're just so far ahead of me with everything I do. I'm at the point now, there's probably very few people in North America, like maybe 100, probably less, that have the wilderness outdoor backcountry experience I do at this point. I spent thousands of days in the backcountry now, like backcountry, hardcore, real ecology wilderness. And the Sasquatch are just so like light years ahead of me, like they're just so in the know, so brilliant, so amazing. I can't see them getting caught in that. So the whole premise of them being caught unknown in a blast from a volcano that most animals can pick up. Most animals can feel the vibrations of that. And many of you are going, wait a second, talking about earthquakes. Nope. Even animals, it's a known fact, animals can detect and feel that a volcano is going to erupt. They have that know and that feeling. And then the ability to be clairvoyant. I'm not going to make any apologies. The Sasquatch are very ESP, extrasensory perception, at the highest level of it. I know it. They have clairvoyance. I know it. I've experienced it. I've seen them do it. It saved my life. And please, though, for those of you who for some reason don't accept ESP, this is a scientific fact. Universities are teaching it. Like, it's a repeatable scientific fact, extrasensory perception. But if you feel like, man, clairvoyance, Todd, you're crazy, please don't give up on me. I respect your opinion. Keep it. I need people to be skeptical of that stuff, and I really appreciate that. So don't go anywhere. So this is all about, man, if I line up people all beside me that all have different perspectives, my perspective becomes enormous. That's what a cooperation is all about. My Ashley Ann, who is, my wonderful partner in life, she has tremendously different perspectives from me, and I absolutely love it. So we have this, she's much more spiritual and much more nature, medicines and stuff like that, very organic. And it pushes me out of my comfort zone. I push her out of her comfort zone, and we make an amazing couple because of it. And I'm telling you this because I want you people that are, John Bitternagel would be like, Todd, really? But I'd look back at, so John Bitternagel, PhD, wildlife biologist, my mentor and one of my teachers. He would look at me and go, ESP, Todd, come on, really? But then I'd go, John, you're living in the freaking 70s, my friend. This is a known fact. You got to keep up with the times. Otherwise, you're going to fall behind. If you're not spiritual about this discovery, then you have my sympathy. Like, it's just not going to. Nobody who came into any one of these natural discoveries, like gorillas, orangutans, chimpanzees, all those great women that did that, they were all like so spiritual about it, so feeling. That's why it was women that did it, because it was so emotional. They were so feminine and embracive and spiritual, and all the levels they went to have the tremendous success they have. When you're going to make a discovery of this magnitude, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of all ages, you better have every asset: spiritual, emotional, physical, sexual. What am I missing? There's five: emotional well being, physical well being, sexual well being, um, spiritual well being. What am I forgetting? There's one more. Anyways, or maybe there is just four. I don't know. Funny day for me. So, what kind of shelter do you think they create? I don't think those what people call shelters, they're not shelters. There's no way. That's no kind of shelter. So what the structures that most people think are shelters are not. They're actually a design to say something. They're a message. They're built north to south, clockwise, and there's just so much going on. So many levels of this one's twisted that way, this one's moved that way. The natives do that. Survivor Man talked about it, where a native could come along and see a little pile of wood that's put in certain ways, and it would say, "Oh, Johnny was here yesterday, and he says the moose hunting's good over there." That's in a little stick thing that they put together. They have the ability to communicate like that, and the Sasquatch absolutely do the same thing. So, what kind of shelter would they create? I don't. I've, actually, I have seen a Sasquatch shelter that was built for sheltering themselves. Took a tree and bent it and lifted up a log and shoved it underneath a log. So this big, huge tree with all these branches, and then they just built off of that. So the structure, the superstructure of it, we can't do this though. No human being is strong enough to take a tree like I saw, like it was a pine tree full of pine leaf branches, and they took it and they put it under like a 400-pound log. Lift up a log, shove a tree under there, and now the tree's bent. So imagine a tree's up like this, it's bent under a log, and you've got this ability to now build a shelter over. And that shelter is very, you can't teach that in survival though, because human beings can't bend trees like that, and they certainly can't pick up 400-pound logs. And a Sasquatch probably did it all by himself, grabbed this tree that requires the strength of the world's strongest man couldn't do it, and just simply bent it over. World's strongest man could pick up a log, but not while bending over this tree, and one arm at a time shove it, right? So and that's clearly a Sasquatch structure. That doesn't happen in nature when you see a shelter actually built like that. So, and then the other thing that I see is caves, significant amounts of caves. Pamela, good evening, Todd. Paul and Pamela here from Arizona. The discovery is happening. Absolutely, Pamela. Thank you so much for tuning in today. Probably because tacos are talking about tacos still. Hi, Todd. Jody from Cape Cod, Mass. Hello, Jody. Hoping your family are doing well. We are. You love the channel. Thank you so much. I will stay safe. And this is our discovery, Jody, right? This is how personal it gets. It's personal here with you people. I'm opening up my heart. I'm explaining to you what's going on. I tell you who I am. It has to be personal, guys. I expect that to reciprocate, and it does with you, right, Jody? Look at what the wonderful things she says, and I wish that the same thing to you, Jody. I hope your family's doing amazing, and thank you so much for supporting this channel, guys. Really appreciate it. I'm so grateful for all you being on here today. SJ, 100, hi everyone. Have a blessed day from California. Thank you, JM. Where can we watch the new episodes? The Survivor Man episodes are not new, but they're all on YouTube. Then my new stuff is on my YouTube channel. There's really cool stuff there, guys. I'm actually gonna rip some of that down and put it in a movie. I had Warner Brothers call me just today and say, "Man, you've got such good content on there, and some of these aren't getting much attention. Can we take that and this and this?" They actually gave me a list of like 6 different 10-minute videos. That's almost a movie. So some of them are around under 20,000 views, which is not high. I have videos that are in the millions of views, so I can just rip those down and make a movie out of it. So because it's really good content. Hi, Todd. Do you think this is Joseph Worth? Do you think the red-haired giants that fought the ancient Native Americans were Bigfoot? No, because I know of a story where, just shortly, I'll explain to you quickly. The greatest, this native man who was a giant monster fight, like the Achilles of native people, started a group of natives called not dog soldiers, but the Cougar Warriors. And these Cougar Warriors got to an elite status. And one day they decided to verse the Sasquatch. There was no versing. The Cougar Warriors were annihilated in a matter of probably minutes. The greatest native warriors that have ever fought, above dog soldiers, greatest ever, Cougar Warriors. You don't hear about them anymore because they decided that they were going to get arrogant and verse a Sasquatch, and it was no fight at all. So the story ends with one of the cougar warriors was allowed to live, and he went back to a tribe and he told them what happened. He said, basically, we went out there to take on the Sasquatch tribe, and we basically took a breath and we were all done. Like, we had nothing. We were there to fight them, and they knew it, and they came to fight, and there was no fight. We literally were just gone. Within seconds, everybody was gone. Their leader, who was this huge titan, probably had gigantism, tough as hell, didn't last 1 second versus the Sasquatch. You understand that? They literally, my teacher told me, it was from this. He said, if you decide to verse a Sasquatch and they take you on, take your last breath. That's how fast you're going to be gone. Appreciate that breath, because if you're allowed to take it, you won't last much past that. So this cougar warrior went back to the group, to the tribe, told all these elders what happened, and that night the Sasquatch came and killed him after he told his story. Came right into the reserve, walked right in there, killed him, left him for dead. Nobody versus a Sasquatch. And I'll tell you something, guys, I see that today. You go out there with guns and such. I mean, I'm sure American military with their FLIR and stuff, they would kick some ass. Let's be honest. They would really kick some ass and probably, like, they'd napalm a whole group, it's done. But just as a human being, like, if I go out there with some buddies, I go out there with some tech, and go out there with some badass Navy SEAL tough dudes. This is just, don't be I'm not trying to disrespect anybody, but we're going to get our asses handed to us, especially without aerial support. We're going to get our ass. It's not even going to be a fight. And I don't think we could get the fight anyways, because the Sasquatch could just evade us. And that's not in my blood to do that. So lots of stuff. I've been through this so much, guys. I've gone through so many. I've had so many considerations and worked with so many people. I've been doing this a long time. And this is all I do, is Sasquatch research is my job. Hi, Todd. Have you watched the video I sent you of the Sasquatch behind the deer? I think so. It looks like there's 2 eyes, and I'm not sure that's a Sasquatch. So, how do I put this? Like, guys, I have amazing footage. Like, my video 3 is got to be one of the greatest pieces of Sasquatch evidence, video-wise, in existence, besides the Patterson footage. It's a 9-foot tall Sasquatch, weighs 800 pounds, sprinting up the side of a mountain faster than a human being can go. So I'm really, like, all this stuff is interesting. I'm doing little videos about fake stuff and stuff that I think is real that's kind of out there in the public. But this is just anecdotal stuff. This is not going to make the discovery happen. The videos that I've seen people sending me, I have not seen a video that I go, holy crap, that's better than mine, better than Patterson, not even close. So I'll be interested, and I'll help you propagate it, and even if you have real Sasquatch videos, I'd love to help you with the research. But we really need to get next level, guys. This discovery needs some serious forward movement, and that's what I'm going for, right? Really, really going for. Second movie anytime soon. I'm pretty much almost done. So, boom from Ontario. Hello, Jason. Ice bathing beast. Thank you for tuning in today, my friend. Todd, if I pay you a few $100, would you punch me in the face? No, I wouldn't. Absolutely not. Todd, could those little footprints that you found once be a toddler Sasquatch? Oh, so Andy's talking about, so I was actually out with John Bitternagel. And John is an expert when it comes to even young Sasquatch. And I was really getting my, how can I put it? Like, I knew about young Sasquatch tracks, but I got schooled by John Bitternagel. Like, he had such knowledge. So when a Sasquatch is young, their tracks are very squared looking. They do not look, they don't look human at all. So when I was out with John Bitternagel and I saw these tracks that looked like little baby humans, like I'm talking like a toddler who couldn't even walk. Toddlers can't walk when they have feet like that. That's how tiny the feet were, except this thing was walking beautifully. And it was walking with a stance, not like a Sasquatch. There's no way. Like, when John looked at it with me, that's not Sasquatch. He's seen Sasquatch tracks from young Sasquatch he believes are just learning to walk, like 1 year old. Look nothing like that. They're wider and squared looking. These were slim, like they had that slender look of a human being, like a young child. Except walking bipedally in the hell of backcountry, middle of nowhere. This was day 2. We did a whole day 1, slept. Halfway through day 2, or no, it was coming back from day 3. So we'd gone out as far as we were going to go, and then we came back on day 3 and saw that this little thing was following us the day before, right behind us. Like, the tracks weren't there when we were walking, and then the next day we come back and the tracks are on the ground. This thing was following us. And It was a bipedal hominid, and it was not a Sasquatch. So little people exist. And I went and asked my teacher. So, because John wouldn't even talk about it. He just, you know what? I think he'd seen it before. It was just, his perspective was, it's not Bigfoot, and I'm not getting into little people and UFOs and Loch Ness. And I respect that, and I agree with that. But I went to my native teacher at the time. It was just before he passed away. And I asked him about the little people. He said, yeah, they're out there. So I've seen them many times. He had a story about the little people that he told me. And I'll tell you, you got to be so respectful of natives. My native teacher had spent significantly more time sleeping in the wilderness than he did in any house in his whole life. He was probably late 80s, early 90s when he passed away. That kind of experience, you got to be a straight right, again, kids, plug your ears, you got to be an asshole to disrespect not only a man who spent that much time in the wilderness, but he comes from generations of people that have been here for tens of thousands of years, and they don't think they know. You gotta be a total ass to disrespect that kind of knowledge and experience. Well, it's oral tradition. You kiss my butt. But these people have thrived out here. They lived in perfect equilibrium, and they were not as technologically advanced, but I would argue, sorry, they were more spiritually advanced than us. So there are levels to things, ladies and gentlemen, and they were at a spiritual level that is very high, very connected. Technology, just because you're technological, doesn't mean you're spiritual by a long shot. In fact, it's quite clear to me, the more you stare at these phones, there's a phone in front of me I'm staring at right now, the more technologically advanced you become, the less spiritually connected you are. And anybody who understands that gets it. And if you don't, think about it. Technology is designed to take your wildness away. Technology is designed, I mean, it's not designed that way specifically, but that's what's going on. You're disconnecting from nature. You're disconnecting from your inner self, your core. Like it's so bad. Like the stuff that's going on with children right now, kids growing up in this is awful. I'm scared, terrified. That's why I fight for this discovery. I want people to reconnect with their freedom, with their wildness, and undomesticate. And that means unplug, less reliance upon technology, more connectivity to your natural, organic nature self. So, hi Todd, do you think the Sasquatch can sense technology, like feel its presence? No. I hear a lot of people say that stuff. They can see the because listen to this guy. You gotta listen to me, guys. So this comes back to infrared cameras. Oh, they can see the infrared light and blah blah blah. No way would I ever. I told this to Survivor Man. Do you think they can see infrared light? The day I shine my infrared light on a Sasquatch, see him go, "Ugh!" I'll believe it. Until then, horse manure. There's no animal that can see infrared light. But you know what they can see? They can see your tracks as you walk over and put the damn camera out. I'd like to see you hide. I don't even have a camera. Every one of those cameras has a little piece of glass on it. It looks like crystal. How could you hide that? You can't hide that. You can bury the thing. And the more you bury it, the more you're digging up, the more you're ripping up the earth, the more you're going to leave signs you were there. We're talking about the greatest trackers that have ever lived. And if they didn't watch you walk out there, which they probably did, and feel your intent to deceive them and put a gift out there with intentions behind it to deceive them and steal an image from them, that's deception, guys. I can't go out there. Remember, your feelings matter. What you feel matters. Your energy matters. It matters. You must know this. I've learned it 100 times. Watch my YouTube videos. My friend James went out there. We put all these apples up, but James put one apple up because he wanted a track over here. So he put that up, and I looked at him. I was like, remember this. Came back the next day, all apples, but James is taken. Why? Because he put it up there with negative intentions. He didn't give the gift as, here's a gift, respect for you being amazing beings. Oh, no. He did it as, I want a track. And that energy was untouched by the Sasquatch. It didn't take his apples. And I was so grateful that he did that. And that's happened dozens of times, guys, even to myself perfectly. So, Grizzly Girl 1197, communicate animals? What's that mean, Thaden? Communicate and animals. So my kiddo is asking me to answer questions here. It says, Harawasi lady.
Look for the comment.
Oh, Thaden, so my kiddo's he's scrolling through here and he's seen all these incredible comments. I'm just going to have to work through this, guys. Can Bigfoot detect trail cams? I just went into that. Bigfoot can see you. They'll watch you put them out. They'll see your trackways over there. And why are you giving me this?
Because you said something about a camera lens.
Oh, right. My kiddo gave me this. My kiddo's totally involved in this today. So this is a lens, right? And the little glass, like, do you understand how that shines? Like, look like a piece of crystal. The Sasquatch and trackers like me, a tracker like me, this is how it goes, ladies and gentlemen. Normal people, okay? Then you get good trackers, good hunters, deer hunters, weekend guys. Then you're going to get me, okay? A little above that, much more experienced, but I'm still 2 levels above. Then you get native trackers. Okay, now we're going to push this down. So this is me now. And remember, we got the hunters and the normal people here. So this is me. This is the old native trackers. Incredible, amazing. They'll follow you anywhere. And my native old friend trackers, they're still domesticated. They still put moccasins on their feet. They're not as good as the Sasquatch. And the Sasquatch are going to be here. So I'm trying to explain to people that are steps down what it's like to have an elite tracker, man. Elite at a level. Let's theorize something. It's not a theory to me. I already know this. I talk to a dog, guys who have tracking dogs. So this is a fact. Tracking dogs will be following somebody, and as soon as they feel that person get scared, listen to what I'm saying. So somebody's out in the woods, we're hiking along, doing fine. So the dogs will follow that. They'll be okay. They'll just follow the scent. But the minute that person goes, oh my God, I'm scared, I'm lost, the dogs will know that moment. Remember, he's not there. He's gone. Let's say he's a day away. Why'd they start doing that? Because they feel in his scent particles, his fear. They see it in the fox. They'll follow a fox. Fox is trotting along, blah, blah, blah. Everything's cool. Fox goes, oh my God, dogs. Starts running. The dogs will come to that. So literally, let's say the trail's like this with a fox. The fox is hunting, looking for chickens, blah, blah, blah. He hears the dogs, right? Dogs are nowhere near this. He freaks out and runs. So dogs come along. They're just sniffing. They're sniffing. They're sniffing. At this point, all these guys that run dogs, they all know this. The Sasquatch are doing the same damn thing. They're feeling your energy in your particles, man. Well, now I actually have to take it to another level. Let's theorize that the way these incredible, remember I was talking about the native trackers and the Sasquatch? Both of these people, and I'm getting to that point too. I'm getting close. I'm inching up towards it. It's my dream to be what I call a heart tracker. Big reveal, guys. This is one of those moments. If you don't want to know this about life, don't continue on. The native trackers that could track you over rocks and anywhere, follow you through any kind of terrain where there's no tracks on the ground, it's because they're feeling your scent particles the same way a dog smells them. They can feel them. Fact. I've seen it. I actually have my teacher and Gerard, who actually recently passed away as well. At 33, this kid passed away because he was so messed up because he couldn't stop feeling people's energy around him and stuff, right? Became an alcoholic and just died by brutalizing himself. But that's a whole other story. But these guys would follow the energy of somebody. And you can't, as long as there's scent particles on the ground like a dog can smell, these trackers will follow you anywhere. It's amazing. It's outstanding. And they can also feel that energy. So when you go out there, you start dicking around with cameras and stuff. This is, guys, we're thinking like, well, can they see infrared light? No, man. That's you. That's the guys down here. I'm up here trying to talk to you going, hey, they can see a blade of grass and tell you that and not only can they feel the energy, but they can also see the trackways, and that speaks oceans to them. These guys are trackers. So like I told Survivor, man, you put your game cams out, but they're going to walk up. Like you see in my documentary, the Sasquatch stopped. This is Jeff Meldrum did this. He's walking the Sasquatch trackway. It stops and looks. You know what he's looking at? What's going on over here? What are the games being played? What's the energy I'm feeling? Oh, Todd didn't put out any game cams. Todd and Jeff Meldrum put out apples just to gift us as respect. That's the energy I feel. Take a couple more steps. No game cams, no weird little foreign devices, no little sound. Just gave us gifts. Let's take those apples. Let's go interact with Todd Stenning and Jeff Meldrum. And Jeff Meldrum sees a Sasquatch. So that's how we keep winning. That's why I'll never stop winning. That's why I keep showing people Sasquatch. Because I understand these things, and there's thousands of other researchers out there that think they can go out there with a gun and shoot one. Do you know what your energy's like when you have a gun? Good luck. 2 things are going to happen. 99.999, I hope, % of the time, The Sasquatch sees your dumbass energy and goes, man, you're a dumbass and I'm staying away from you, and warns his family, and they're all done with you. Or you die and they come and take you on and kill you. There's no other option with that. You're taking on the greatest outdoor wilderness hunters, trackers. Like, they know every part of the land, like they're the layers of what they're capable of, guys. It's mind-boggling. That's why this discovery is so important. We will literally wake up to a new level of understanding if we can open up to the Sasquatch enough where we can communicate with them through ESP and begin a dialogue and then grow from there. And that's exactly what I'm doing, what so many people that I work with are doing. We're opening up our minds, communicating with them in a language they can understand through feelings and emotions and empathic abilities. And it lights up a whole new world, guys. It's amazing. It's a miracle. And I hope you're here for that. Todd, are Kyle and Ashley doing any expeditions? Of course. Kyle's coming up for months. Kyle's going to lead his own expeditions, and I hope Ashley does as well. I've already booked Ashley with Katie and Kim in September. So yeah, there. So many people. Is Ross coming back? Yeah. Is Adam coming back? Yeah. Like the list. Hey, I bet you he's on here today. Like there's 4 or 5 people. Is Keaton coming back? Well, if Logan comes, and Logan's coming, so Keaton's probably going to come. Royal Creations, when are you coming out? Would you raise a baby Sasquatch if you found one? Oh my God, what a question. Absolute. I would try. I would fail. I'd be a horrible mentor and teacher to them. I have so many paradigms. As a human being, I'm so messed up. This is my feelings on that. My God, no, please. Because I'm going to be such a bad teacher to an incredible open being like that. I'm not going to be able to teach him what he needs to know because he's so empathic, so strong, so powerful. But if it came to it, absolutely, I would treasure that. He'd probably be my teacher at 3. But I would love that. I would never say no to that. And this is from the Jamin Show. So good question. Where can we watch the new shows? Well, on my YouTube channel. You're on my YouTube channel right now. So I have a baby Sasquatch named June. What? This is Alpha Omega. If you have tremendous success, if you're getting cool things going on, bigfootencounter@gmail.com. We'd love to hear from you. If you have a baby Sasquatch named June, help me make this discovery move forward. So this is my YouTube channel. Andy's saying, please subscribe. We have over 340 videos. That's amazing. Discovering Bigfoot website, virtual library of information. It's so awesome. Hello, Royal, everybody, and the family's here, right? All you guys that tune in every week. I'm so grateful for you guys participating. Move over, Liver King. Right. So awesome. And that Liver King is this dude who's eating raw meat, right? Young ones like Oreos. Oh my God, I'd be so afraid to I just went grocery shopping today. Man, I'm spending a fortune because my family has to eat organic. I don't want to put chemicals and crap in their food. So I'm spending probably even 3 times as much now buying organic food. And man, I would never give a Sasquatch an Oreo. Just it would break my heart. All the toxins and crap and poisons in that. I couldn't do that. Hey brother, you're the man. I love your videos, all the hard work. Thanks so much, Dennis. Appreciate that, my friend. They like peanut butter, and I'd love to give them organic peanut butter. I could see that. I heard that from Randy Brisson too. Hey Todd, have you tried gifting any other items like toys or other? Ashley's doing that. I have. I don't know. This is a rock from a Sasquatch. I'm always trying to do stuff like that, guys. Always. This year, I had a bit of a vision, and actually, I had 2 visions, and neither one precipitated. I'll just be transparent. So, the Sasquatch made us an Inukshuk, a beautiful one. I hope Ashley has it now. She comes into my house and she's like, I think I see the rocks, and she took it, and I hope she took it and does something with it because we're just lying around here doing nothing. But I made an Inukshuk. I felt like in a dream while I was meditating. I felt how cool it would be to go to the Badlands of Tabor. That's where the dinosaurs, the coolest dinosaur stuff in the whole world, is in the Badlands, about 2 hours from where I live. And the rocks there are amazing, beautiful. So I took 4 rocks and I built them up as an Inukshuk and put them on the area where right beside where they did that for me, and nothing was taken. And then I was meditating again. I don't remember what expedition it was on. But I was up meditating, and I felt like the Sasquatch would take the. I have this salt. We all have it. It's that beautiful golden-looking salt, or reddish gold. It's from Tibet. It's Tibetan salt. It's beautiful, incredible salt. I took those chunks. I put it on a stump, untouched by Sasquatch, and they were around. They didn't take it. So I am failing in some of the inspirations that I get, and that makes you question yourself, right? Why would I feel like the Sasquatch would take that salt and take it, and then I put it out there and they don't? Why would I feel like the Sasquatch want this Inukshuk and would appreciate it and respect it, and then don't? So lots of things, such a learning experience, guys. It can be very frustrating. What's up from Lancaster, Ohio? Love Ohio. Spent some time there. Beautiful state, Buckeye State. Love Ohio. Hi Todd. Have you watched the video of Sasquatch stoking a deer at night? Stalking. Uh, I sent it to your team. I think I have. Again, maybe some good stuff, but not enough to be incredible, amazing evidence. What's going on, kiddo? I have watched. Say, my son is here going. You have watched it, so I'm sure it might be good, no. But is it blowing my mind? No, it's not. You know what I want? I want somebody. So this is kind of this is funny. This, you want to hear my ego? So this is how egotistical you hear Todd Standing get. So, um, I am the heavyweight champion of the world when it comes to Bigfoot. Because if I prove Bigfoot's real, I win. And if anybody else proves Bigfoot's real, I win. Because they're going to just substantiate everything I've been saying this whole time. But man, I would love to have some amazing human being call me up, say, hey, I've been filming them for 10 years. I got all this incredible footage. I like what you do. Your videos are okay, but you should really have a look at mine. And I come and I talk to this person. He's got these incredible videos. I go out to this person's research site and he blows my mind. Totally blows my mind. The greatest videos ever. This dude's getting the most incredible success with Sasquatch. And I literally just become a student of his. That would make me the happiest man in the whole world. If you're that person, if you have such incredible footage, if you have such incredible success with Sasquatch, I would love to come and learn from you. I would. If you're getting better footage than me and you're getting better interactions and stuff, please. I'm a really good learner. I'm a devoted, hardworking student. I can show you my resume, work with some amazing people, did a pretty decent documentary, put my heart and soul into that documentary. And I would love your help. So there's my ego. Like when it comes to even, I remember this. So there were, when I was, I'll even talk about this, I'll be public about it. So there were these two trappers. That's Nordegg happened. All the success I had in Nordegg with Survivor Man and then I was out there, it happened because a taxidermist heard from these two trapping brothers, are called, that all these incredible Bigfoot things are happening. And I went out there and I saw nothing but legitimate truth. These two trapping brothers, they stayed away from me. They wouldn't talk to me. But man, they were having ridiculous success. I believe they're probably the greatest Sasquatch researchers, or they're not, maybe not researchers, but they're getting the greatest success with Sasquatch I've ever even heard of. I saw stuff in the trackway, blew my mind. The Sasquatch are like chasing these guys. A Sasquatch walked out into the trail and took a knee in front of this dude, and he turned his vehicle around and drove off, and the Sasquatch ran after him. Like, these guys are sick. These are the trapping brothers of, even I'll get more specific with the area, over just north of Grave Flats. These trapping brothers are, what I heard was they've created a scent that attracts like pine martens, and the Sasquatch are addicted to it. They can't keep their hands off it. So the Sasquatch rip open their pine marten traps and take this bait. And allegedly, what might have happened that day, I speculate, is he was coming out to bait those traps and he had that bait, and the Sasquatch was like, I want some of that. I want it. So, but I could never get through these guys. Another person, I won't name his name because I have nothing good to say about him, spoke poorly about me, called me taking Meldrum and Survivorman out there the Todd Standing circus, and we were a big joke. I don't feel that way. I feel like we were doing great things. I also heard that these trapping brothers like Jeff Meldrum. Well, then here's Jeff Meldrum's number. Take Jeff Meldrum out. I'll pay for Jeff Meldrum to fly out, and I won't have anything to do with it. You just take Jeff Meldrum out and show him all this stuff. Because it's not about me. It's about this discovery. And I know those dudes are doing amazing work. I had a close colleague of mine just recently get in potentially with contact. I said, don't mention my name, but if you need me to show up to clean the dog crap off his lawn, I'll do that. Like, what humble thing do I need to do to help this research move forward? I'll do it. You don't know like what I'm willing to do to get this to move forward. And I know those guys were having incredible success. They never spoke to me, and it was immensely disappointing to me. So So much great stuff going on there, guys, and I'll do anything. Humbly, please. If you think if you're getting incredible results and you're doing amazing work and you think I'm some ass, some jerk, then please accept my apology. What can I do? I want to learn, right? This is what I do with the Sasquatch. I go out there, man, I want to learn so much. I'm doing the best I can. Even my Ashley and Ashley's frustrated because she's just not getting the results that she wanted, and she's not doing the things that she felt she needed to do. And she wants more. Well, we all want more. She's like, well, maybe I shouldn't do this anymore. I'm like, yeah, you should. You please don't. You're so gifted. You're so talented. What's happening to you is so amazing. Please don't stop. And I know she won't, but it can be frustrating because you want to grow. You want to learn so fast. I want to just go out there and just let the Sasquatch take me for a month and just teach me and stuff. And I may have actually had that opportunity and just blown it. If you know about the incident where an old male Sasquatch came up to me, and then I reached for the camera. Anyways, I talked about this quite a few times. I believe that was my day, and I botched it. That happened years ago, and they haven't forgiven me since. So, let's do some. We got 15 minutes here. So Andy's saying, Royal, I checked out the Midwest Bigfoot researchers. Very good evidence. Good site. Awesome. Awesome. Good to hear. What did Jeff think about that? Oh, I don't know what the question is. Todd, people say they have a smell. Is that true? Yeah, but only acutely. They don't walk around smelling. And their hair makes them like a predator camo. Oh, no. Their hair is just black and brown, maybe all the way to red. But it doesn't like camo change. No, I don't see that. I started learning how to communicate with animals, and it actually works. Well, absolutely, Chrissy. Animal communication is absolutely factually real. I have a video on my website about it. Animal communication is the stuff. Practice with your dog. I'm being trained by an animal communicator. I've literally, just an example, I've done dozens of things. My dog, I don't even leash her up. I could take her downtown in a busy area. She's right by my side. She feels me. She's connected to me. I'm empathically in communication with her most of the time. I was literally hanging out with some friends. Imagine this. I'm in the sun. She's a Rottie. She's black. So I'm chilling out in the sun. We're getting lots of sun. I look over my dog. She's black. She's overheating. She's got a big black coat on, and she's overheating. So I look at her, and I see a spot in the shade like 20 yards off. I look over at the shade. I look at her. I go, just go sit in the shade. I'll stay here, but just go get out of the sun. So my dog gets up and walks over and sits in the shade. And the people that I'm with are going, what the hell just happened? You told your dog to go walk and sit in the shade. The thing is, verbally, she didn't understand me. But in my mind, I went, you're here, you're hot. Go over there in the shade, you'll be cool. And we're just going to hang out. I would never, like, we're bonded, my girl. Like, I'll never leave. Just go sit in the shade. And when we get up to go, I'll call you back over. So I was able to communicate that, not through words, but through feelings. Because they don't understand. You can't say, you can't tell a dog, I don't know, run up a tree. You have to envision running up a tree, and then they'll understand that, because they don't understand the word tree. It's like even telling somebody that old question, oh, don't think blue. What did you all just do? That's another thing with animal communication. You can't tell them what you don't want, because they won't understand that. If I say, don't think blue, first thing you do is think blue. So you have to communicate with them through what you want, not through what you don't want, if that makes sense. And that's how you communicate with Sasquatch. And the better you can get at empathically communicating to your children, to your dog, to your family, to the squirrels, I don't know, to the birds that are flying around, the better you'll do Sasquatch communication, Sasquatch research. You'll go to a new level. So it's absolutely 100%. Man, I'm looking for a mentor. Anna Bachman was teaching people that. Now I don't know what's going on with that. I'd love to see a teacher like Anna Bachman come back and start teaching the incredible, amazing animal communication. It's so brilliant. Casey Contrail says, yeah, well, I don't believe that they are animals. I believe they are part of human parts. Well, this is just little superficial garbage that we shouldn't be arguing about. I'm an animal. Animalia, right? Like, we fit into that. If you want to be specific, I agree with you, Casey. They're hominids at the very least. Like, they're, well, not the very least. That's the highest level. They're hominids. They're not even apes. They're above primates. They're out of primates. They're in the hominid category. Homo floresiensis, Homo americanus. If I get to If I get to name a Sasquatch, that'll be the name of the Sasquatch. Homo americanus, the original Homo sapien that was designed and lived here in perfect equilibrium, is what I would call them. That's in my paper for the discovery process and for the court cases. I call them Homo americanus, the Homo sapien that lives indigenously on the North American continent. Michael Stone says, I grew up deep in the woods in BC or in NC, North Carolina. I've heard calls at night, raccoons hunting. My father said he saw one in the jungles of Nam, and he's always thought, where are its parents? That's awesome. I've seen incredible stories. There was a TV show that went to Vietnam and saw a track. So tremendous stories. After the evidence I've heard and seen, and I keep hearing the ring of truth. I'll tell you, I hear the ring of truth in what I've heard about Vietnam Sasquatch, and my heart tells me that you're correct, and they're there. Do you ever talk to Shaggy about going on a trip? Shaggy, are you talking about the ICP? They're coming on a trip with me this year. They had to cancel 2022's trip, but they're coming out in 2023. At least they say so. We'll see what happens. Yeah, my grandparents grew up in the backwoods. This is Casey again, of Ohio, and he said he got chased up a fire watch tower while hunting raccoons with a couple buddies and chased by a Sasquatch, I'm assuming. So very cool. Makes sense. My first live show, my sister and I have found so many footprints. It seems they don't care who sees them, LOL. I couldn't disagree with you more, Carly. Hold on a second. You're wrong. I can't wrap my head around the size of some of them. So, Carly, you are completely wrong. They care immensely about the footprints. If you're finding them, like even if you're finding them on a regular basis, they know they're leaving them for you. These are the greatest trackers that have ever lived. I'm telling you, Carly. I actually talked to Jason Schutz on today. He's like, man, I found this track, had this incredible thing happen. Well, dude, they left the track for you. I was talking about Ross earlier today. They did a tree break and left a track for him. They knew he was coming to it. They make a boom on the ground. They leave a track. They want me to find it. People, I don't know how many times people have said to me, why is it only 2 or 3 tracks? This is somebody called me. I'm on a radio show. This dude had a Sasquatch encounter. He heard 3 booms, found 3 tracks, but only 3 tracks. And he goes, what did they do? Disappear after that? I go, what was the ground like? Could you leave tracks? He goes, no. And you heard how many booms? 3 booms. And he saw 3 tracks. Well, he stomped his foot in the ground 3 times. Boom, boom, boom. And then he walked off. You just saw the marks he left. I'm out with Jason Shoot last year. Boom. I go out. Guess what I found? 1 big boom track. Actually, I saw another track beside it from his probably his son, I believe. Boom. That's what he left for you. So you really, Carly, you've got to wrap your head around this. It's so important, Carly. They damn well, those are real Sasquatch tracks, 99.9%, they're leaving them, and they know you're seeing them. They're probably, Carly, watching you when you look at them. I'm going to tell you something else, Carly. So this is my sister and I. So I don't know if it's 2 girls or a brother and sister. Only you know the truth. If they're leaving tracks, you keep finding tracks, I'm telling you, they're doing that for you, and there's something very special about you. They're communicating with you. They're not doing it by accident. They're doing it on purpose. They could easily hide their tracks. You would never find their tracks if they didn't want you to. So really sit down with this. Understand you're very special. They're doing this on purpose. Don't think they're some dumb animal, because you're completely wrong. They've probably been watching you for years. They probably know all about you. They know about your trials and tribulations, the stuff you've been through. They've been feeling your emotions and watching you for years, most likely. That's how long it takes a Sasquatch to start leaving signs like that. They're probably making little sounds around you and you weren't noticing it. They're probably breaking trees and you weren't noticing it. So they left tracks. I bet you the first time you saw their tracks, they were out in the bush going, yeah, she sees them. Woohoo! And you're coming from that domesticated perspective. Oh my God, they're accidentally leaving tracks. And now that's the paradigm. You've got to shift that paradigm. Get out of that sense that you're dealing with some dumb animal. They are light years ahead of me, light years ahead in tracking and spiritual understanding and connectivity and freedom. I don't know you. I will probably never meet a human being. I don't see how I could ever meet a human being ever in my lifetime that's free like a Sasquatch. Really think about that. They pay no bills. They go wherever the hell they want. They live free. They have no technology. They wake up in the really get this in your head, guys. They wake up in the morning while I'm brushing my teeth and cleaning my glasses and putting my shirt on and getting my food ready. He rolls out from under a tree and goes, "Let's go." He stands there and watches me get ready for an hour. Who's free? Right? Putting my boots on, changing my clothes, eating some cereal. Man, he's ready to go. He rolled out from the tree and he was ready 2 hours ago, Todd. And I think I'm free. That's freedom, right? He doesn't pay rent, doesn't answer to anybody. He goes wherever he wants in the wilderness. He can go to Alaska. He'll get his ass down to Florida if he wants to go. He is free. Like no human, you can't even imagine that kind of freedom. He's never given a two craps about what time it is. Hurry up and get to that appointment on time. He doesn't know that stress. That's freedom. He doesn't have a phone that he has to do. He doesn't have obligations. He doesn't have anything. He eats. Sasquatch literally wakes up and goes, "I want bighorn sheep today." He knows where he goes and gets one. "Oh, I'm going to go get the berries that are ripe over here. I'm going to go down here. I'm going to go do the salmon run. I'm going to hike a couple days and go down to British Columbia and eat some salmon for 3 or 4 days." Like they have such incredible abundance, guys. They're so far ahead. They're so free. They're so much in the know. The moment you think you've got the upper hand on them, it's because, and this is through experience, you're so far behind that you thought you were ahead. There's no other way to put it. So really keep that in mind, Carly. I hope that shifts your paradigm. I hope that shifts all your paradigms, anybody who's having this issue. We'd love to see pictures. Carly, bigfootencounter@gmail.com, please. I'd love to see what's going on. I'd love to hear more about it. Carly, you should go on so it's Discovering Bigfoot Podcast at gmail.com. Go to the podcast. I bet you Kyle will get stuff out of you. I know I would rip it with you. I remember talking to a guy in New York in the Adirondacks just a couple months ago. He's a trapper up there. And man, he's telling me this stuff like, "Oh, the Sasquatch did this, Sasquatch did that, and blah, blah, blah." And in 10 minutes, I switched his whole mind around. It's like, oh my God, they were leaving me. Like he thought it was terrible. This guy's trapping rabbits. And he thought it was so terrible that the Sasquatch would leave rabbits by his truck and over on his hood and stuff. "Oh my God, they're scaring the hell out of me." No, man, that's a gift. How many rabbits did you get? Well, I didn't get any that day. Well, he wanted to make sure you got a couple rabbits. But it scared the hell out of me. Well, I know that. We fear what we don't understand. Right? That's the natural response. You're terrified of what you don't understand. So I talked to him on the phone, chilled him out, and at the end of it, he's like, "Oh my God, they love me." I go, "They do. They really do. So don't be afraid." They're the ones that extend the olive branch to you, Carly, by leaving tracks. Now it's up to you to take it to the next level. Be a good student and learn and listen. Listen with your heart. Go back. How often have they been coming around? How long has it been going on? And just you'll have tremendous success. And I would love to help you. Kyle would love to help you. I have so many people. Watch my videos. Like those people that come on an expedition with me, man, these guys are amazing. Amazing people. If you see someone like, you like Jason, you like Garth, you like Ashley, you like Logan, it doesn't matter. These are all amazing people. They have brilliant insights. If you can find something you like about them, send us an email. I'll hook you up. Or go to the Discovering Bigfoot Facebook page. James is there. Darren is there. Stefan is there. Andy's there. Like so many people I've taken out that have brilliant, amazing perspectives and lessons to teach. It's really powerful. You don't have to do this alone. Don't do it alone. You should regularly have your son feed you good questions on the show. Young people are so much better at sifting through information to find the relevant stuff than you might be able to go through them. Well, my son should be upstairs watching my young children right now. I have a 4-year-old. So he's listening for them, but he's watching the show. So, but hey, since it's so easy for him to sit down and listen and have fun on the show, maybe he doesn't deserve the $20 I told him I was going to pay him for doing that.
That's fair.
He said that's fair. What a punk, eh? He's a terrible negotiator. He should be saying, "Dad, I'm watching the children and helping you with the show. I should get $40. But no, he sat there, looked at me, and goes, "That's fair. I don't deserve $20. This has been so much fun." What do you want to say, kiddo?
So, Dominic Smith, yes, I've seen a Sasquatch twice. The second time, I'm thinking it may have been something else. Maybe I just mistook something, but I believe 2 times.
He believes he's seen a Sasquatch twice. And whoever, just a minute ago, I read, you should have young people on. They're good questions. Young people are so much better at sifting through. You know what, though? I have successfully raised him where he's just going to be more insightful, more open, more awoken. He's bigger, smarter, tougher, stronger, faster, better version of Todd Stanning. My dad would say that about me. My dad, who has passed away, definitely had a son take his place, like the old Viking adage, don't fall until your place is taken. I am bigger, stronger, faster, smarter, more spiritually awakened than my dad. I love my dad so much. I miss him, and he'd be honored to hear me say that as a father. Those of you out there going, what an asshole thing to say. No, it's not. And his time has passed. His world is gone. It doesn't exist anymore. And it was his time to pass when it happened. And he would be so. I hope. I just not trying to be offensive, but when the day comes when my son can beat my ass in jiu-jitsu, can outrun me in a race, can smash me playing football, is smarter than me with physics and math. When he's done all that, when he's outclassed his old man, it'll be the proudest day of my whole life. I mean, that's what I fight for. That's why I grind him. Right now, I work out more than he does. I got to get him in those damn ice baths, you know. I fight with him for these things. That's true. I do more sets when I work out than you do. He's the last to start the workout, and he's the first to quit. That's only for now. That's our show for today, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for tuning in. My phone's actually going to turn off. I believe I'm out of power for some reason. That's weird. Sasquatch Sunday coming up. Podcast is on Saturday. I'm even going to have a special video for you on Thursday. I'm going to do a Throwback Thursday for you all. Thank you so much. Gratitude for tuning in, everybody. You all are amazing. Please come back next Wednesday. I absolutely love doing this show so much. I'm sure there's 100 questions I didn't get to, and I apologize. But just the nature of the beast. Some days I go through the questions quick, and some days I talk specifically in greater details. So thanks again for tuning in. Y'all take care of yourself, and I'll talk to y'all soon.